Hey guys, Jared here with a little special tasting this evening, highlighting actually a local product made over in Scottsdale out of West Texas grapes. Tonight, special tasting of Ringtail Sangria. They offer a white and a red, and just gonna do a quick live blind taste here. So starting with the white. First thing you notice is it is not sparkling. And of course, still sangria is definitely prevalent everywhere, but based on the bottling, I almost expected it to be sparkling. So taking a look, a little bit lighter in color. It's giving just pretty much straw. So the little nose, ooh, big, ripe, luscious fruit jumps out. Obviously tons of peach. It's very tropical also, almost kind of mango. Just based on smell and based on the fact that it's sangria, it's smelling sweet. And so as we taste here, that's gonna be my expectation. Yeah. So first impression, um, definitely crisp, and a lot of fruit. Um, all different types of very ripe stone fruit. It's almost like a peach jam that's going on. Uh, like I said, that tropical mango comes through a little bit. Very light on the citrus, which I'm kind of surprised. But as far as most sangrias that I've had that are pre-made, yeah, so it's not bad. Just definitely a little lighter. Um, let's see, if I were sipping on this, I would want like maybe a little soda water in there, just so you get some effervescence and kind of cut the sweetness a little bit. But that would just be personally for my palate. Um, Definitely very sippable. And again, I love that it's made locally here in Scottsdale. From what I understand, out of West Texas grapes. So, kind of an up and coming region in the world. And so, to get something from there is fun, especially to kind of expand the palate a little bit. So that was the white. Yeah, I mean, as far as the food pairings go, I'd want something probably spicy, just to kind of counteract the sweetness. But again, look for it. It's being poured around in a lot of different places here. I would assume it's available at Trevor's, um, but again, could be wrong on that. So moving to the red. Ooh, definitely like a very light ruby as far as the color goes, which again is kind of the expectation. I'm sure they're using very young grapes. Who knows what type of aging the wine itself has. But in sangria form, let's get into the nose. Actually, kind of muted. It's not definitely doesn't have the same large fruit vibes that the white has. But still, just like maybe a hint of strawberry, like a little blackberry going on. Um, I'm not sure what type of grape they're using. I would assume Cabernet, but again, that's just a very uneducated guess. Okay. Again, as far as the nose goes, not a whole lot going on, but in this kind of interpretation, not terribly surprised at that. Okay, onto the taste. Definitely, actually, a little more crisp than the white, surprisingly. Whereas the white definitely has the big fruit elements. This one still definitely has some red wine elements. You almost get like a little hint of tannin, and it actually is a little more muted on the sweetness. And so, yeah, just just to have a sip and enjoy with like a turkey sandwich or something. Let's see why not. I'm gonna get in there one more time just to see if anything else pops through. So kind of a little bit of tartness on the finish, and it also kind of does have a little bit of like a baking spice element, which definitely gives it more complexity than I would have expected. So, um, out of the two, if I were to have one to choose, I would personally choose the red. But again, both excellent representations of sangria, um, which obviously can vary greatly depending on, first of all, what type of wine you're using, what type of fruit you're implementing, whether or not you're adding something to fortify it, whether it be like a brandy. But at any rate, good local product. So just want to say thanks again to Ringtail for sending me a little something to try. Obviously shout out Club 602 and the boys over at Pearl, the boys and girls over at Pearl. Keeping us rolling along. So coming out soon with the September picks. Stay tuned for the tasting video on those. And until then, cheers everybody.